Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome to another episode. Footy Talk, man, them are in the building. What you man saying?
Yeah, man. Good, man.
It's mad peak for me, fam. You already know what it is, bro. Look at DG smiling, enjoying life like as if man.
Oh, excuse me, sir. What team do you support? Oh, dead your team, man. Like, I hate your club,
Lord.
man.
Neck, blood. What is it like? 1 point. You man are bleeding, fam.
Hey,
As well, man, I got the fraud, blood. Man, I got the fraud. And man, I got the cheat behind him, bro. You know, you got no.
I stretched in it. I'm ready for this. I stretched for this.
What? Hey,
I've
what
done
name?
my warm up.
Things on that shirt behind you? Please be Drogba.
yeah.
You're a decent
Please,
man,
man.
bro. You got 2 losers behind
There's
you.
no name, you know. There's no name at the moment.
Yeah, I hear that. That's better than either them 2 names. So.
That's how I know it hurts him, man. That Lampard picture at the back. This is why I'm enjoying it. I know it hurts you to see this guy's failing right now. I know it hurts. I know you look at that picture and say I failed you and them things there.
Bro, it's
My
peak.
word.
Big up everyone inside. Smash the like button. You already know what it is, man. Let us know where you're watching from. Now I'm saying, man, I'm still here, just dangling my legs from the top of the table, blood. You know how it is.
Wow.
Mad thing, bro.
Hey.
Listen, it's not for everyone, blood. It's not for everyone. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not for everyone, cause you know, like that. You know them world-class winners and that from your world-class midfielders, yeah. Do you know what I mean? That costs a lot of money, bruv. Like it's not for everyone, blood. Hold tight, Havertz, and that they might not ever come. But it is what it is.
Oh, Lord.
I'm saying it's the Drogba show, blood. I mean the Pogba show, even not even the Drogba show, bro. Drogba, another, bro. That's probably your last decent player you had. Mad thing. Your club's dying, bro.
This is gonna.
I'm just happy Arsenal haven't lost, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. It's better days right now, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Trust me, happy to be here, bro. On the vibes thing, bro. At least there's vibes at Arsenal.
DG's on a
vibes.
I remember last time.
Chelsea,
I remember
bro.
last
There's
time
no
it
vibe.
got sticky for me on this stream. DG was just a vibes thing, fam. Just living
Yeah,
life,
bro.
just enjoying
At least I
himself.
got some
You know what I'm
vibes. You
saying?
can look at your gaffer, boy. I see
Bro,
you. Don't think I'm
honestly.
bringing out your Twitter receipt soon as well.
Mad thing.
What do you mean receipts, bro? They already been
Because
coming
you used
from
to
my
rattle
car,
me with
bro.
them videos when I used to
Nah,
see them come
bro.
across my timeline about Arsenal.
Nah,
I'm enjoying
they've
your
already
demise.
come for me on the TL. All the videos I dropped, everything's already come out, so it's all good. Do you know what I mean? The
You
worst
saying you
is
bit the
the
bullet
worst
already?
is past us.
What's the thing with someone said something with you and Tobes is doing the rounds now. What was that about?
What Topes? What do you mean?
I don't know, a video or something.
Oh,
Nah, apparently that's
Dammy. Yeah.
Oh, Dammy, sorry,
That's
yeah.
Dammy. I think they're talking about Dammy. Me and Dammy did this video, and it was when you man didn't sign Sancho, and Man United fans were in a turmoil about their
Okay.
season because they weren't like signing their targets and whatnot. This is before you got like Cavani and whatnot. We had obviously just signed up all our players, innit? So we went for United.
You man were talking with chest, blood. I
I'm not gonna
remember.
lie, we came with our chest, 100.
You man were moving like Katie Price, blood. You man had the chest up front, blood. I'm telling you, you man were talking smack. I remember it. You signed what 6, 7 man talking about, yeah, we're gonna get Declan as well. All this
Challenging them
chat,
things, man.
bruv. And then when flipping, that means Steven Seagal with a ponytail, man like Van Dijk, bruv. When he busts his leg, yeah, you man were talking like you're gonna walk the league and that.
Yeah, it was happier times. We went hard, man. Do you know what I mean? The propaganda
I
was
said
strong.
happier times.
Happier times, man. We went full out. Do you know what I mean? Go hard or go home, as they say. So it was one of them ones. But unfortunately, things have not panned out exactly how we planned. Do you know what I mean? It's not gone according to plan. DG's loving this too much, you know.
I'm loving it. It's not here. You tell me talking the truth, man.
Life comes at you fast, blood. Now it's all
Come fast,
mid-table
man.
Matisse
You know
and
what
that.
I'm
Mid-table
You know that guy that did his 15 minutes of fame, you know, coming fast. That's what I'm saying. It come fast.
Nah, but real, on a
Coming
serious
fast.
note, yeah? On a serious note, how long do you think this brother's got left? Do you still think he's going to make it to the end of the season?
Oh, no. Bro, personally, if it was me, and like I said, the only reason why I think he hasn't been sacked is because I feel like they're still looking for someone that they want. I don't think Tuchel is their first choice, and I think Nagelsmann is, but you can't really get Nagelsmann until the summer. So now, but then there's reports saying that, you know, they don't really want an interim, but for me, that would probably be the best solution, because if you're looking at getting an interim, you know it's short term, and there's a short term objective to hit top 4.
Bro, them man just need to get a little interim Rafa Benitez thing quick time, yeah? And get you man somewhere respectable, or go and get my man that you always get, blood, Roman's brethren.
What, Gus Hiddink?
Gus Hiddink, bro. Like, he's an elite manager, and you know that he's in the speed dial anyway, blood. You know that.
Like I've always said, I don't. My targets, Poch and Ancelotti, are off the table. I like the fact that they're looking at another manager, because I've already said on my stream, I think we need to let him go. Do you know what I mean? We need to part ways. Whatever you want to dress it up as, relieve him of his duties respectfully, whatever. But man is getting impeached. Do you know what I mean? It's a madness. He has to go. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I've been very patient. I've been trying to do up the propaganda. I don't think anybody in terms of Chelsea on Twitter have done more propaganda with their face really out there trying to push it as much as me in terms of putting it on the line. But like I said, with them videos, and especially with these signings as well. But when it comes to, I said, very critical time coming up is that 2-week break between the Man City game and the Fulham game. And that 2-week break was for training, was for implementing your ideas, was for getting rid of the reasoning behind no preseason. And I know that affects a man, but that can't be used anymore because everybody's going through the same shit. And I'm seeing teams with less, I'm seeing playing squads with less ability now above us. And like I said, you had those 2 weeks to get your shit patterned and show us. And he even said it himself, in these 2 weeks, we're going to show you what we've been working on. And we went against Fulham with 10 men, up against 10 men Fulham, and still couldn't do anything until Hudson-Odoi came on, who should have started. The first half against Fulham, we were poor.
Was the Fulham at their place or your place?
Their place.
Right, it was at their place. Blood, that place is a hard place to go, blood.
It's a hard place to go.
Brother, that place, yes, bruv, that place looked like Power League, cuz that pitch is tiny.
Yeah,
I swear down. You see what they were doing to man yesterday, just rushing man and that, bro.
We played them at the right time at their place, to be fair, man. They look like a different team. I can't lie.
They look like a different team, brother. Listen, these man just, bruv, it looked like man were passing a grenade around, blood, like up my team, bruv. We couldn't keep the ball, blood. It was mad. They make you work, bro. That pitch, they condense the space, and they just, bruv, they look like a different team.
Lines and that.
Yeah, 100%. Different thing.
But my point is with that one is that 11v11, we were looking like we were going to drop points. Until it was only until they went down to 10 men that we really got the advantage. And even then, we weren't
Robertson
looking
was doing all right in that game as well.
We wasn't looking like scoring until Hudson-Odoi came on. And I know they've been playing well, but when you factor in that they had 10 COVID cases at the start of that week and played Tottenham in midweek, I expected better from us. 100. And against every team in this league, you can say, oh, well, this is their form and we have to pick up points. So the excuses have to start dropping now. Do you know what I mean? They have to start. We have to start cutting them, because at the end of the day, this playing squad is better than its position.
For sure.
Bare minimum top 4, I've always said. And now that I don't believe that we can make top 4 because of the lack of experience of how he's just got a lack of experience in how to get himself out of these situations, because he's not an experienced manager. He's only got 1 year at Derby before here. And I'm trying to use the logic that I would apply in real life. Like I said, if you're in a job and you're a project manager and you've got a project and you're a company and you're hiring a project manager, you don't get a project manager who hasn't had the experience of running previous projects successfully.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So all of this learning on the job thing is great, but you should have been learning faster. And it's not even to all blame it on him. The players were
I'm
atrocious.
listening to my team previously.
Yeah, the players were poor, but they're your players as well. You bought them, most of them. So you have to take responsibility for that. And one thing I never expected to see in a Lampard team, which is why I'm very much saying I don't think we can turn it around now, is that I've never seen Klopp team down tools. And one thing with the Lampard is that they were meant to be fighting for him, playing for him, passion and all this shit. Well,
the Chelsea team.
It's not there, bro. Do you know what I mean? This is a manager that no brother should have ever been down in tools for. He signed all these men and they still not putting in the shift. So what does that tell me?
That tells you that he's a pagan, fam, because he can't even
drawing them out consistently as well.
That's what I mean.
He's an arrogant prick.
He's drawing them out consistently.
He's an arrogant prick.
No reaction.
Yeah, the arrogance is killing him.
He's drawing it out for them every week, and I'm looking at I'm saying to myself, this is beyond madness. Because one thing I also expected him was from a media standpoint, he usually knows how to deal with the media very well in them situations. Going for your players relentlessly week in, week out. And it's not even just that, because I do agree with him, the players are not performing. But then to not take any responsibility yourself and say that it's just all them, that's where it can't run.
But he got that from Jose, innit? That he got it from his favorite manager. Do you know what I mean? That's how he's managing. He's managing how he was managed, bro. That's not successful in this time. He manages just like Jose, bro.
But if we're talking about learning from Jose,
bus.
if we're talking about, bro, you saw the Leicester game. If we're talking about learning from Jose, why not deploy in dire need, dire circumstances where your job is on the line? Why not deploy a more pragmatic approach against a counter-attacking opposition? Why allow?
Because he doesn't know how to coach it, bro.
Why not change? You see during the game, Vardy's goal offside.
And that means he ain't got people around him to tell him he's moving mad as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He brought in his mate Brody, innit? Them man are happy to be
there. He's just happy
to be there. Vibes thing. How are you gonna just allow mad amount of transitions to keep happening? We already spoke about the midfield in my preview, midfield imbalance in terms of Kovacic sitting as a holding midfielder. That's like asking Ndombele at Tottenham to sit. These brothers carry the ball. Their ball progresses with their dribbling. So why is he the lone sitting midfielder? So that midfield was already imbalanced. Cool. But why are we not, if we've got an imbalanced midfield that are going to get caught up in transition, and we know that Maddison, Telemans, Ndidi is superior, why are we not being more compact? Why are we allowing them to just transition on our backside all game? And what for what? Just to keep getting countered. No wonder why they scored their goals. No wonder. Do you know what I mean? If there was ever going to be a game not to concede early, it was Leicester. Them brothers were suited. I spoke to a Leicester fan in the preview. Them man are suited to taking the lead and then just allowing you man to come onto them so they can counter. Vardy is ready for that. And for me, it was just nuts. We was just played off the park. And people will say, well, it's Leicester, they're above us. Cool. But my expectation is fourth. If you're going to get fourth, you have to take points off the man above you. You have to. Right. And Chelsea's record against the top 10 has been appalling. So from the moment them 2 weeks were up and I saw the way we're playing the last 2 games, I just said to myself, listen, I think you're out of your depth, love and guidance and whatnot, but you need to come back when you're more experienced. You need to, because
you ain't coming back. What are you talking about, blood?
Or don't. But this is not your time. This is not.
That's how the heart is still there. You see, Matisse, the heart is still there.
He ain't coming back.
Of course, the heart is still there. Brothers on the wall.
He's not coming back.
I'm always gonna respect him. Man's never gonna draw him out and
disrespect him. I'm loving this, man.
But like I said,
the King's Road Tim Sherwood is done out here in the streets, blood. The dance done. Lock off. I'm telling you, he's finished, blood. He's Sky Sports bound. I told you already, and he's gonna go there and tell us where it all went wrong, just like Gary Neville. Fuck off. You man are shit, blood.
Like I said, I'm not trying to hear it. I still think in 10 years he has the potential to be a top manager, but right now he's not ready.
He probably does, but right now,
bro, you think the post-traumatic stress from getting sacked from Chelsea, he's done at it. Imagine getting your dream job in the second year of your career and getting sacked. You can't go nowhere from that.
I ain't getting to spend
Some Chelsea fans are like, let's ride this till the wheels fall off. Let's
sponge the wheels already fell off, blood. You man are 10 for something. What am I talking about?
In my opinion, as from before he arrived, Mandem are moving incredibly selfish. Chelsea, when they hired him with 1 year's experience at Derby, we were just thinking about ourselves. We've got short-term goals. We got a youth to implement. We got a transfer ban. He'll be able to get us through it. Cool. We wasn't thinking about if he's ready. And now, same way here, rinse it out. Let's just see how bad it can get. Do you know what I mean? What about his managerial career? Do you man want him to be a successful manager and get another job after this? Or do you man want him to be doing up bits in the Sky Sports studio with Gary Neville, talk about what could have been? Because I would rather him have a good managerial career. So that's why I would rather this just be cancelled out, part ways respectfully, before it gets ugly. Because like I said, everybody's seen our run. Tottenham, Atletico, Liverpool, all these fixtures are upcoming. And really, you've got Wolves and Burnley before that until it gets messy. In a month's time, the fixture list is nuts. And my thing is that if you're going to bring in a new manager, you've got Luton, test game, and then you've got Wolves and Burnley, teams that you should beat before you go Tottenham away. You've got time. Yeah, but all this dragging out rinsing, I personally just think the board are negotiating in background and they've already made their decision, but they just haven't.
Wolves ain't a walkover,
now they're just trying to put the pieces together of what they should do. Because obviously this is a decision that you need
to but you can't get no one at this time, innit? If they don't want to interim, they could end up in a situation with the situation it was in with Jose, where you man were in the 17th when they sacked him, bro, because he's clearly lost the dressing room. The difference between Lampard and Oli, is the fact that Oli very much has the dressing room, and what he doesn't have as a tactician or as a good manager or whatever, he has as a people person, in it. People want to win for him. They want to play for him. Man don't want to play for your manager, bro.
Like how often did Oli?
And to be fair, it was the same with Arteta. He never does, and it's the same with Arteta because Oli doesn't carry that ego that Lampard carries. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Jose was telling my man he's the best player in the world and that. Fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, you ain't done nothing in management, bro. Like, you failed at Derby and then you got a job at Chelsea Football Club, bro. After this, he's finished, bro. Man, they're talking about riding it till the wheels fall off. Blood, the wheels are in the bushes, blood. I'm telling you. The car's in the road. The wheels are in the bushes, blood. The wheels are falling off, cuz. They're rolling down the motorway, cuz. You gotta fucking finish, blood. I'm looking at it. I love it, mate. Fucking hell, Chelsea. You man stink, bro. You know them ones. Another fucking 250 million to be shit. These men always talking about how much money City spent, how much money United spent, and net spend, and net this and net that, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You man can't hit the net, bruv. It's mad out here. Werner can't hit the net. Havertz can't hit the net. You know, like that. You're only gunman Giroud, blood. You know what I'm saying? Man's on the Eurostar back home, blood. You man are fucking dire. You know what I mean? It's fucking sensational, bro. I love it. I fucking love it, bro. Man, talking about Thiago Silva and that, bro. Clean sheets and all them one there. Later.
I Matisse, you was front line for that one. On this show, you was front line. You was front line for that centre half thing. And I've seen the centre halves at Arsenal that I don't rate too tough put a little form together. So it's putting things into perspective. But it's sad to hear. On a serious note, it's sad for Matisse, but it's like what you're saying. It's like I'm not a fan of parallels changing, but it's like everything you're saying was me 2 months ago or whatever, when we were sitting here when Arsenal's in negative times. Now, I don't think Arsenal are over it yet because it's a bit like what you said. The games that we've played, take nothing away from them apart from you, man, should be winning that. Playing West Brom at the right time and playing all those other clubs. So it's sad. It's like literally everything you're saying is how I felt a few weeks ago.
But the thing is that, like I said, the man doesn't even have Arteta to Pep experience, John Terry to Dean Smith experience. Who has he learned from? Like, seriously. He had a couple months in academy coach, I believe, at Chelsea. Went to Derby and was head boss with Jody behind him. Now Chelsea head boss with Jody behind him. And like I said, I speak about coaching staff and there's no experienced person who can give a different idea or change the course of what's going on. I wanted Steve Holland. I said it a couple of weeks ago. We needed to bring in a man of experience. Usually it's the other way around. It's Pep to Arteta, Dean Smith to Terry, etc. We were going to do it the other way. Do you know what I mean? That's backwards in itself. But that's the bare minimum I needed for me to be like, okay, cool. At least someone's got the experience about it to get themselves out of this shit. Brother, a lot of people saying give more time. Bro, you need evidence. Evidence for change. There's no evidence. This is his first time going through this, and that's not a good thing. That means how will he get himself out of it if he's never been through it? There's no evidence. That's my problem. There's no evidence of building a project. There's no evidence of a successful project. Everyone talks about comparisons to Klopp and all this nonsense. Brother done Mainz and Dortmund before he got to Liverpool. There was evidence. You need evidence. Hard evidence. You need in the court of law, bro. We're taking you to court. Crisis meeting was yesterday morning, and there's no evidence. You're just waffling at this point. Seriously, that is what it is. It's a waffle job. It's just belief and sentiment, and I get it. There's always going to be sentiment, but for me, I have to separate that. I can't be doing no big long hour stream on the sentiment thing. I said where my breaking point was. It was after this 2 weeks. The 2 weeks of training. Show me what you're trying to do, and show me that you're going to improve turn this form around. And those 2 weeks. Nothing gone, bro. Because look what happened against Fulham and Leicester. The performances were diabolical performances. It's not like Chelsea are losing games and they're playing well. Losing games and not playing well and playing and getting worse. And like I said,
that's been the thing with you lot, though, man. It's like even when you lot were in better form, I used to say it to you all the time, and you can quote me. It's like I've always got the vibe that Chelsea, you make games harder than it needs to be, even times when you want, even off the back of actually getting top four. I remember you lot against Crystal Palace last season, and Zuma done very well. As an outsider looking at Chelsea, it's just like once you lose the players, it's gone in. It's like you could have got Callum on side. Every game was even against us when we beat you lot. It was Callum. Well, Mount gave it to him, but Callum created that goal. You know, you're not giving him an opportunity. Clearly, everybody's rattled you in defense because you're trying out new partnerships. I see Reece James. It looks like he's going through a rough patch. It doesn't look like he knows how to save him. So it's just like he's winging it. So and that, I guess that's what concerns me as a football fan looking at you and for your health and whatnot. It's like you can't really see how it turns around, but football changes, isn't it? You go on a few runs, things can change, man.
But that's the thing with Reece James. Yeah, when he's having a hard time, he needs an experienced manager. Or he needs experienced players. Do you know what I mean? He either needs an experienced manager to take him out the firing line, or he needs experienced players to kind of say, you know what, bruv, just simplify your game. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not getting that right now. And the thing is, when you look at this Chelsea team, bro, like, it reminds me of, like, look at what's going on at Arsenal now. As soon as my man's brought the kids in, them man are flying.
Yeah.
You know them ones there. You know what I mean? Because you got young, hungry ballers with a point to prove, similar to Chelsea last season. Everyone was saying what a good job that Lampard did last season, yeah, with the kids and that. As soon as he spends money, it goes pear-shaped. These men that are on big money, that cost big money, bruv, they ain't got no time for these inexperienced managers doing fuckery, bro.
You know they outlast him.
Yeah, they know they outlast him. They'll be like, you know what, we can just move this man out. Whereas these kids now are just like, yeah, they're on it.
Yeah, a lot of these players that came in, they spoke. Hakim, Timo, all these brothers, they spoke about, we want to win this season. We want to win. They came in with that winning mentality, and everyone was like, fantastic. This is what we need. Great stuff. That backfires now because if we're not, and brothers, these guys are not playing well, so they need to look at themselves as well. But they're no doubt having discussions. Yo, how was you coached under Nagelsmann? How was you coached under Tuchel? Is this guy?
Bro, they're not even having discussions. They're not even having discussions, bro. Like when they're warming up and training this fucking pie and mash football, yeah. Man's looking at each other like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like really, though. You know what I mean? Because man, I got man that been one shit, you know. You know what I mean? Man, I got man that are one shit in that team, you know. And they're looking at these methods and thinking, this is a bit meaty, fam. You know what I mean? And similar things were happening at my football club as well. Man were like, yo, the training methods are meaty, bro. But you know what, yeah? These man actually want the managers to do well. There was bare leaks saying, yo, players are blaming the manager for the results. Know what I mean? The players ain't rating the training methods. 2-2s, you put a few runs in the games together, all of a sudden everyone's happy, blood. Everything's breezy, fam. The difference is Lampard can't get them back. He can't get them back. You know them ones. Oli, like even the super chat, Oli won Pogba back because he started playing man left midfield and that. Do you know what I mean? He said, you know what? I'm just going to listen to the youth and play him where he wants to play. Lo and behold, he's our best fucking player. You know them ones there. But Lampard thinks he knows better than all these other men.
It's the stubbornness.
And it's the stubbornness that's going to kill him, bro. You know them ones? And that's just what it is. And that's why man have to respect the whole Oli thing, yeah? If fucking Pogba ends up staying, then boom, I'm gassed. I don't care. You know them ones. If Pogba ends up staying, bro, that's massive. If that's the only thing that Oli does, yeah, for me, blood, just keep, man. Swear down. Because if you keep Pogba, we're winning stuff in the next few years. If you keep Pogba, if we lose Pogba, it's a massive step backwards, bro. Because yesterday, man won the game for us by himself.
Yeah.
Nearly 100 touches of the ball, blood. And his heat map's a joke, blood. It looked like acne, blood. It was everywhere, cuz. You know, like that. The heat, bruv, it was a mad thing. Dots all over the pitch. Man is saying, you don't defend and that. What? Bruv, Bruv, man's average position was deeper than our fullbacks, bro, and he still scored the clutch goal, bro, at the end. Man can't chat to me.
But he doesn't try and he doesn't care and he doesn't.
Idiot. And the man done another interview after the game and said, listen, you see me, blood, if we're winning, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? If we're losing, I'm vexed, bro. End of story. There's no more to it than that.
Say to that. No one wants to lose. If you enjoy losing, it's a dickhead thing. Let's be real.
And that's just all it is, bro. So right now, man's loving it, bro. And speaking of managers, yeah, Paul Merson said this. A man's got the quote, yeah. He said, I don't see Guardiola or Klopp being able to do what Brendan Rodgers has done with Leicester, blood. And bro, it's very hard to argue with that, bro, with the players that man's got.
It's hard to. You can't belittle what Rodgers has done. He's an excellent coach. You know, he's done. We just spoke about Lampard doing the hard graphs. You know, arguably Rodgers may have got the Liverpool job too soon at that time.
He did get it too soon.
Yeah, and it didn't bang. He's learned, you know, he's been given some money to spend at Leicester, but it's not even that. You see coaching defensively, they're great. Counter-attacking, they're great. You know, for one thing, I want to see with Aubameyang as he gets older, how do we change the way he's played? You know, they tailor their game to Vardy and stuff like that. It's fantastic. You know, I rate Pep Guardiola highly, but I'm not too sure he could do what he's done at what Rodgers has done at Leicester. Klopp, I know he spent money, but I back Klopp to do it, man, because I've seen Klopp kind of build squads.
Yeah. Nah,
you know what? Yeah, what I've clocked as well is that we a lot of fans don't apply what they say for players with managers. We speak about the need for experience in playing and going out on loan and learning your trade. You know, playing in playing in different positions to learn different parts of the game. But then when it comes to management, we just undervalue just how important experience is. Like you spoke about Rodgers. Rodgers at Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Defensively, it was a madness. Do you know what I mean?
Like, management as well. Look at Sterling and Ballo. He effed it up. Now he's probably a bit more patterned.
But also the thing is with Brendan Rodgers and the way he dealt with Raheem, yeah,
that was a mazza.
I think that was just cultural differences, you know, them ones. And Brendan Rodgers, yeah, tries to do the authoritarian thing, innit? And like even Madders said, yo, if you don't do this, you don't play for him and that. But the thing is with Brendan, the way he dealt with Raheem, as a young brother from London, yeah, you can't chat to us like that. That's just how we are, innit? And the thing is, this is where like the cultural differences come in, bro, because it's like you can't chat to man like that, like respectfully or not, bro. Like we're not raised like that. We're not raised to be submissive or subservient to no one. You don't talk to us like that unless you're my dad. You don't dare, bro. Like that's how we're raised, innit? You know them ones, and everyone's culture is different, bro. So the way he spoke to Raheem, bro, it's a madness, bro. His way, he probably just thought, you know what? Like I talk to everyone like that, but bro, you can't chat to me like that. You can chat to everyone, but not me, blood. You know, like that. And when you start
legit,
that's just what it is, bro. You have to treat everyone as individuals, innit? And you have to understand that. And I think that's what the top managers do. The top managers, like the Sir Alex Fergusons, they know how to talk to people. They know who needs the arm around the shoulder, who needs to kick up the ass, who needs to be wound up. That is the difference between good managers and elite managers, bro. Elite managers, yeah, they've got every detail on smash. You know them ones, and that's where Brendan fucked up there. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's learned from that and he's adapted his methods now. You know them ones, because you can't go around talking to everyone like that, like they're dickheads, bro. Especially not when they're your best players, because Raheem was doing a madness for Liverpool, bro. My man went for 60 M's, bro. He weren't no scrub.
And they tried to say he was a flop at one point, football fans.
Mad thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, but what Brendan's doing, yeah, bro, it can't be hyped enough, bro. What he's doing is a madness, bro. Like an absolute madness. I man have to respect him, because when Brendan Rodgers was linked with the Arsenal job, bare Arsenal man were turning up their nose.
And you have to, and there was nothing wrong with even saying that at the time, but it's like, even if you have to have that common sense to say, listen, I was wrong. Rodgers has done a madness. And I would actually like to see, I don't know if Rodgers will leave Leicester, and I don't know if he should, but if another top 6 sort of job comes.
Nah, he'll leave, bro. The way he left Celtic on a red.
Yeah, but it's like, would you, when I deep it, it's like, I would leave and I would go, but when I deep it, you got a good thing there at Leicester. Football could change, but you got a good thing. And there's not too many, you'll be more disposable. Like, let's say he took over Chelsea tomorrow. He's not doing the job. Obviously not going to sack him instantly, but it'd be gone. Leicester, it looks like they give you a bit of time, but saying time in football, and especially as being a manager, is probably a dangerous thing to say.
So what are you saying?
He can be like Rodgers,
he can do like the fucking David Moyes thing, bro, and just do the longevity thing. Like what David Moyes done at Everton.
In football now, probably not. Like the only one that probably do that is Chris Wilder, because it looks like he's still failing, and Sheffield United is saying you can just stay sort of.
Yeah, because he can bring them back up.
Yeah, Rodgers is mad ambitious. Like even the way he left Celtic, brother was just like, nah, next thing. Head focus, head down, Leicester next. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not in a sentimental thing. If he once he gets to the point where he's felt like he's done everything he can do with Leicester, if he gets an offer, he'll jump. But to come in mid-season at Chelsea, mid-season with no pre-season, no transfer window, it don't make no sense. Yes. There's no point. So he ain't gonna do that. He's not stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Big up for this thing on the Ollie thing. Yeah, I hear you. You see the Pogba perception thing though. I don't agree with that. The reason why I don't agree with that is the perception of Pogba was there because of flipping Jose, but also because Pogba doesn't talk to the press very much. So it's one of them ones where I think that from the PR side, I think there's been a conscious effort here from Pogba and also his agent to do more press stuff. Pogba's done 2 interviews in the last 2 weeks, bro. When's the last time he done an press interview after the game? That I don't remember. And he speaks perfect English. You know what I'm saying? Man done his driving test in Manchester. You can even hear like the twang and that in the way he speaks, bro. Like he's here, innit? You know them ones. So it's one of them ones. He's the kind of brother that should be doing interviews pretty much every week, and he doesn't, because that's not who he is, innit? It's not because he can't articulate himself. Man speaks 5 languages.
Just wants to play football, man.
He just wants to play football and get on with it. And I think that Mino and him have probably decided, we're going to make a conscious effort to try and get these fans on side, because maybe he's looking at his options and he feels like, bruv, well, you know what? The way things are going here, there's not many better options for me elsewhere, blood. So now man just needs to kind of get back on side with the fans, yeah? And man need to respect me a bit more, because, right, you know what? I kind of like it here, fam. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all it is. I genuinely believe the more interviews I see him do, yeah, the closer he is to staying here, blood. Because right now he's making hella man eat their words, blood. It's peak. It's real peak right now.
It's always been there with Pogba. It's just we've been here and we've discussed it at length. If you don't know everything that's said positively and negatively about Pogba, rightly or wrongly, then I don't know where you've been. But the man's a terrific footballer, and you want him to stay. It's just a thing where he's probably thinking, I don't deserve my name to be dragged through the mud at a time when United are not where United should be. There's nothing worth it here. You show man the love, you back it up off the field. Pogba has no reason to leave. It's like you said, there's only a couple of clubs that can go for him. And there's a handful of European clubs, so we'll see what happens. But he's leaning towards staying, in my opinion.
I think so. And also, big up Owen Hargreaves as well, because I'm always peppering these mainstream pundits because they're shit. Real talk. They're shit. They are, most of them. And I'm glad he was there when Michael Owen was talking out of his ass. Do you know what I mean? Because Michael Owen is one of the worst. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what side of the fence Michael Owen sits on, because... No, I'm saying, like, obviously he played for United, but as far as I'm concerned, he's a Liverpool man, innit? And then he tries to do the little bread in United thing, but I'm not having it. It's all forced, innit? And clearly he's got an agenda against Pogba. And Owen Hargreaves, one of the only man that chats sense, bro. Man came out and he broke it down on a mad one yesterday, bruv. And he said, listen, when they man won the World Cup, you man are talking about it was that Steve Bauer, bro, as well. And that Fassio used to work for MUTV anyway. I don't know how he ended up there. But their man was saying, do you trust Paul Pogba in the big games to do X, Y, Z? And Owen was like, nah, they don't trust, man. That's why he got moved to the left and he got moved here. And Hargreaves was like, blood, this is a World Cup winner you're talking about, My man was the leader in that team. That guy literally scruff of the neck things Pogba was doing in the World Cup. What do you mean trust him? He said, when you look at Pogba's career, when he's been surrounded with man, that are good enough, where has he not been successful? Where? Because he's successful for his national team or successful for Juventus. Name me one Manchester United team Paul Pogba's played in that you thought were capable of winning anything. You couldn't name me one.
This is it.
But these men want to blame him for everything.
Because they think you get 1,000 goals, 1,000 assists and never be wrong. Like, it's crazy.
The same man that want to blame him for everything, are the same man, that are saying the only reason why this Bruno, the only reason why that Bruno. Compare the team that Bruno came into, to the team that Pogba came into, bro. This is the best Manchester United team since we won the Premier League, by far. And Bruno's been the last in the door. So he's been a beneficiary of all the fuckery that's been put in and gone on before.
All the mud and that.
And man's just come in, scored a few goals and taken all the accolades. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's what's happened, bro. But when you look at it, Bruno weren't playing with fucking Morgan, Schneiderlin, and Herrera and Fellaini and that in midfield. If he was, he wouldn't do jack shit. He wouldn't do nothing, bro. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Pogba got man a fucking Europa League, man won a League Cup and all these things, bro, and was in team of the season, team of the year, all of these things in these seasons, bro. And he was the only one in our team that was doing that. In that dead team that we had, bro. Because man is saying that he ain't done nothing at the football club. It's a disgrace, blood, how them man chat about him and how they... And bruv, they're doing it on big TV. When Gary Neville said, Pogba's the player to look out for this season, Jamie Carragher laughed in man's face, bro. It's there. He laughed in his face, on Sky. Laughed. Ha, ha, ha. You say it every year. Look what Pogba's doing now. Where's Carragher's apology? It'll never come. Fasty, blood. And all the man that want to disrespect him ain't even a quarter of the player he is.
So it is in England, man. It's just when you're a peculiar sort of player, you're never going to be rated. And even deep down, guys will know the truth, but they'll just keep capping and saying whatever agendas because they've already, made their bed, so they line it. I mean, it's no coincidence. It's like with the Pogbas and many other ballers. When you speak to people or followers of leagues from Italy, Spain, etc., they can all appreciate ballers and they all have a high opinion. And then it comes to here, it starts getting a bit crazy. So it speaks volumes, man. Pogba does his talking on the field. So long.
This is it. No, I'm saying, and that's why I'm loving it right now. Innit? I'm loving that he's doing his thing. Man are gonna have to respect this youth, blood. And man are gonna have to respect that he's the best player at the football club, whether they like it or not, because he's showing it now. He's showing it, bro. When we need him now, when it's time to step up and really like score the goals that mean something, he's popping up, bro. From defensive midfield. Without him, we don't win that game yesterday. Like, those are the fine margins, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Those are the fine margins, bro. He keeps doing it now at crunch time from a lot deeper on the pitch than he should be at.
That goal was ridiculous. Man.
Ridiculous, bro. How many players in world football can do that?
Have been they're game winners. They're just literally he's deciding games, winning.
But that's fine. He's a match winner, bro, and he's a match winner when we need him. You know them, man. You know, that's what it is now, bro. And how many players in world football, yeah, are scoring that goal, bro, with their weaker foot, bro? You can't name me. You can't name me too many, bro. It doesn't matter who they are, bro. That's the caliber of player he is, you know. And he was getting compared to people like Jordan Henderson, bro, with a straight face. Man, we're really doing that. Do you know how disrespectful that is, blood? And he must see these things and think, right, these man take man for some pussy, old blood. Like, real, he's a serious footballer, you know, a real serious one, bro. Like, top of the tree, bro. Man's top 3 ballers, bro. Walking this planet right now. That's how good he is. A man are disrespecting him like that. It's a fuckery to me, bro. It's a fuckery to me. Honestly, when I look at man play, yeah, there's no weaknesses in this brother's game, bro. Man's playing DM. Man can play centre mid, attacking mid, left wing, right wing. I mean, he could play up front. I'm sure if you wanted to play him up front, bro. He can do everything, bro. He can do everything.
He's showed his heading ability in the past, hasn't he?
Well, there you go, bruv. The guy can do everything. Man's got feet. You want to dribble up? Man can dribble. Man can carry the ball. He can pass with both feet. He pinged Bruno a mad pass yesterday. If you watched the game, you would have seen it. And he just flicked it past man and just pinged it left foot. Both feet he's pinging, you know. 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, bro. There's no other midfielder in the game. The closest is Thiago, blood, when it comes to pinging the ball, blood. Them man can both ping. This bro can do everything, you know, and he gets disrespected on a mad thing. And he gets disrespected by bums as well. That's the worst thing about it. Fucking joke, blood. World Cup winner, man, have to get disrespect like this, bro. And then man wanna try to tell me that it's not more sinister than just how man's performing on the pitch. Man thing. Don't make no sense to me. You know them ones. So man, fuck that. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see my man doing this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think you can win the league with
No, not this season. Not this season, bro. I still think we're a few players short. I think we're a few players short because with another manager, I think we can win the league. But I just think that tactically, when it matters, Ollie's gonna get it wrong, innit? And that's the only thing I worry about. But I think if we get a couple more men in the door, I think that we can have a good tilt at this title, maybe next season. But the improvement's there to be seen, innit? Even what's his name said, Owen Hargreaves said in the same interview, which I understand and I completely agree with on what I've been saying. Even though United are winning games, we're still not controlling games. Like he said, the home form's not good. And also, look at the Fulham game. Like, they had chances, bro. You know what I mean? There was one right at the end that deflected off Eric Bailly, and there was a few other ones. Even though we won it, we never look comfortable, bro. And that's what Owen Hargreaves said. He goes, the difference between this United and the old United is, bruv, not only were we beating teams, yeah, but at home, we were dominant. This Man United team's not dominant when they're winning, bro. You know what I mean? They're still playing underdog football. It's still an individual brilliance thing. Until United start controlling games from start to finish, I can't be confident in them. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what Owen said. He goes, there's a long way to go, bruv. Yes, they're winning games, but they're not controlling games. And that's the difference between the really, really good teams. Like, people are saying, oh, yeah, United are equaling this away record. Yeah, this is a great team. And that is, bruv, you're not a great team until you're controlling football matches from start to finish. When you're making man do what you want them to do, blood. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in boxing. The greatest boxers make other people fight their fight, blood. You don't fight the other man's fight. You make him fight yours. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call ring generalship, bro. You just know your way around the ring. You know how to make man do. You know how to draw people out. You know how to do different things. United can't do that right now. We're purely a reactionary team. Purely, that's what we are. And until we actually come out at the first whistle, start dictating the tempo of the games, pinning teams back, and opening them up at will, yeah? We're not there yet, because that's what United used to do. United used to sit man back and pepper them. You know what I mean? And when we scored them late winners in Fergie time, it's because we had the team on the ropes for the whole game. It wasn't, oh, United had been getting battered for 90 and then we nicked it. It was we were peppering them with licks until they caved. You know what I mean? And United ain't there yet, bruv. You know what I mean? So it's one of them ones. Until the way we play football changes, we're still not there yet, bro. You know what I mean? So I think that we'll run Man City close, but I think towards the end of the season, I think they'll start to open up a gap.
Someone's saying here, why do Chelsea fans say Mount is undroppable? I mean, at the moment, you look back at that game against Leicester, he's the only brother who gives the shit, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's ironic and it's funny in a sense where people will say, you know, Lampard's son and whatnot, but the last 2 games, he's the one that's trying to dig him out of the hole. Do you know what I mean? Against Leicester, he was the only person who was really trying to have the mentality to try and get back into the game. I think the rest of them just kind of collapsed in their brains and they said, you know what, this is done. Which is alarming because, like I said earlier in the show, a Lampard team, you don't associate a Lampard team with down in tools or dropping off in mentality, or you know what I mean. You think that they're going to be able to keep going through any time, when any period, regardless of what the situation is. But these brothers don't look like they're playing for him. So, and like I've always said as well, with reality, the playing squad that he's just put together will outlast him. Roman is not going to turn the squad over twice, and nor should he. Do you know what I mean? Nor should he, because people try and now. You know, I feel like we're getting brainwashed in the sense of trying to make out these players are worse than they are. People say that we need this, we need that. Brother, do you know how stupid and entitled we look saying that we need more players? No squad is ever perfect. Man City don't even have a striker. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, people be on about, you know, we need this, we need that. I know the midfield lacks, you know, physicality in terms of, you know, a strong presence in the holding midfield. It's a bit fragile. Maybe it lacks on the communication front as well. But brother, seriously, 9th? Come on now. It's too much now. Do you know what I mean? No squad is ever perfect, but you adapt. That's what management is about. That's the raw definition of management, is to adapt to new circumstances that you did not foresee.
Yep.
If you can't do that, then you're above your station. That's the difference between a co-worker and a manager. And we keep, and yes, it's unfortunate that in his second season, for a very unexperienced man, he has to deal with a pandemic and it's a freak and whatnot. Cool. But the fact that he reached a position that no one really expected him to reach last season. By Chelsea standards, top 4 is always the bare minimum. But by what the media and the pundits said, we were looking to finish 6th or 7th. And he would not have really been sacked if he'd finished outside the top 4. So I give him credit there. But that also allowed him to bring in a squad that we would never have got if we didn't finish in Champions League. So we have a stronger squad this season for the freak season with the depth that we would never have had if we didn't overachieve, quote unquote, last season. So it balances itself out. And for, you know, we can't go from talking about having the best depth in the league. We signed these 3 strikers who put in over 100 goal contributions last year. And Werner's up there with Ronaldo and Messi and Lewandowski for goal contributions in this year. And Havertz is generational and behind Mbappe and Sancho. And Ziyech is influencing games on his own for Ajax and in Champions League against Real Madrid. And Thiago Silva's won this and that. Chilwell's used to the league, this and that. Kante World Cup winner, this and that. And then you're telling me what? I'm seeing Chelsea fans tweeting that we can't make that top 4 is gone. And that we should that just there's no point changing because we're not going to make top 4 anyway. You just typed out in mid-January that Chelsea are out of the top 4 race, and you don't think that's alarming? That's not. I don't believe it. I believe we can make top 4. We just need to get our shit. We just need to pat on our shit immediately. But for you to even think that we are out of the top 4 race in mid-January, and you don't think that stands are a bit too low now, and they're not dropping, and things are a little bit alarming. You don't have something. You don't want to deep that. Seriously, you don't want to deep that. Are we just gonna? What are we doing here? Because as I always said, we have to make top 4. And if you thought that we didn't have to make it, then I don't know what. Maybe you're dealing with. Maybe you're not in touch with the club. Maybe you don't know who Roman is. Because you can talk about change, and we haven't sacked a manager in 6 years mid-season since Jose Mourinho. Cool, I understand all that. Like I said, I would love a project, but a project needs an experienced person in terms of project management. In terms of doing
you need someone. Yeah, you need someone with previous in
evidence
in the same situation.
No one just follows a project just because you like the guy in charge and hopefully it works out and all this hopefully shit. No evidence or progression, and there's neither. So 2-week break, no progression, and I don't see it getting any better because not just him, players down tools, and also coaching staff no experience to help him out either. And I don't see anything changing in the course of that. And then on top of that, it's not even just to draw out Lampard, it's to just be real and compare him to the rest of the managers in the league, which I've been doing. Yeah. Where does he fall in terms of managers in this league? Not even top 10 if we're being real. Not on the experience front and not on the quality front. So then how can you expect us to finish in big man positions with someone who's not a big man manager at a big man club with big man players? Just keep it real at this point. Do you know what I mean? I tried to stick it out. I tried to say, listen, give him some more time. Let's see if he can turn it around. Because I still believe he's a very intelligent man. And I think he's going to have a very good managerial career. But I think it's detrimental to him and us to keep sponging it out. Because I just don't see how it can change. And it's not the same situation as these other clubs now, because like I said, even Arteta did his time under Pep. John Terry done his time under Dean Smith. Some people have at least done their time. There's no time has been done here. It's just been rushed, and it's short term. So trying to cover up the transfer ban, and you've shoved a man in, for me, that was not ready for the next phase of the game. And for me, it's selfish. Do you know what I mean? It's just selfish at this point to even try and have it carry on. It's just down to sentiment and just wanting to cling on to the fact that hopefully you can turn it around, hopefully you can do this, hopefully you can do that. If you can't logically put together a case as to how and why, with either evidence or what you're seeing that he's going to be able to do it, I can't do that anymore. So as a person that streams, waffling for an hour about how he's going to change things is not for me, because I can't see it. There's no evidence.
Facts. Big up for the super chat, my guy. And now I hear what you're saying with the super chat, bro. And this is what, when DG was alluding earlier to Aubameyang and that, I don't think Aubameyang's got the technical ability to change his game. That's me personally. His link-up play is not good enough. Usually when strikers get a bit older and they lose a bit of pace, innit? Usually they change their game, become more of a link man or more of a whatever, bro. I think he's too limited to adapt, and that's why I wouldn't have necessarily given him the new deal. But even with someone like Pogba, because he's got such a high skill set, you can see him as he gets older, dropping back and just dictating the game, similar to what Scholes did later on in his career. You can see him having a long career, bro. And that's ultimately how I judge footballers, isn't it? There's a lot of players that are very limited, bro. Like another guy that played for Chelsea, Fernando Torres, was another one. As soon as he lost the yard of pace, bruv, he was absolutely finished. He went from one of the most one of the most devastating strikers in world football to a chump literally overnight, because he was a kick and run player. And as soon as he couldn't run anymore, the ball was bouncing off man's shins and all sorts. Now, I mean, I see the same thing happening to Mo Salah and players of that ilk, bro. Do you know what I mean? Them kick and run ballers. And I think that Aubameyang kind of falls into that category. He's a kick and run player. He can still score goals because he's a poacher and he's got good movement. But I think at the top level, bruv, like, I don't think he's got very long left there, bruv. Do you know what I mean? How do you see that, DG, with Oba?
About 2 years max. Hopefully, you know, at worst comes to worst. Really and truly, I still think he'll score goals. I think you don't lose that movement. You don't lose that sort of ability to get into those positions. But naturally, my problem with Arsenal now is going to be exactly like it was with Ozil. And David Luiz isn't quite to that same stature, but in that you've got aging players. Are you going to learn in hindsight and apply better foresight? Because the minute you gave Aubameyang that 3-year deal, cool, you can use him for the present, but we should be looking for another striker. You know, we should be. I'm not saying you have to buy one tomorrow. If you have to monitor a guy for a couple of years until he's of the level, then fair play. Because we shouldn't. When we gave him that new deal, we should be looking to phase him out. It's dangerous to be relying on a player that is plus 30, unless he's obviously, you know, a Messi or something ridiculous like that. With all due respect to Aubameyang, so the minute he signed the new deal, you keep him for the present. You very much try and ride whatever goal scoring wave he still has in him. But naturally, you should be looking to phase him out. And it's interesting that that's come out, because I said it in my vid. I personally feel Arteta, if our squad was where we would like it to be, or whatever fans would deem it, to get top 4 and beyond, I genuinely think a striker would be top priority. I don't think he thinks Aubameyang's a bad player, but he's got that reluctance to play him through the middle. Obviously, Lacazette, to put it nicely, has his moments, but again, is limited. And Eddie's just really youthfulness. So I think he's looking for a striker that can do sort of everything you want. And he's been at City, and he's seen kind of what Pep Guardiola demands from his strikers. So I'd say that, to be fair.
I hear that. And to answer this chat, bro, honestly, yeah, I thought when Rooney dropped into midfield, he was rubbish. I'm not gonna lie. Bearman overrated Rooney in midfield. He was crap. You know them ones, like he ain't got wing mirrors, bruv. He's not good at receiving the ball in tight spaces and all these things. Rooney just could ping. If you gave him space, he could ping a 60-yard ball in it. But when Rooney moved into midfield, he was done. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see, when he was playing in midfield under LVG, bro, you know the amount of games he would cost us because we are carrying him. We shouldn't have been playing him.
I also don't think he had the mobility to play.
He didn't have the mobility, bro. He wasn't mobile at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he was playing because he was a skipper and because he was Wayne Rooney. If we're honest, playing in midfield, he's not good enough, bro. Even in the championship, he still had the quality to score free kicks and ping balls and that, but he's not mobile. Like, you're carrying him. That they carried him.
Like,
he
don't get me
wasn't a
wrong,
useful player in that.
He was an unbelievable player. Like, honestly, for me, one of the probably the best you know, when we're talking about English strikers in the last decade, the best, do you know what I mean? All-time leading goal scorer for England, I think, and all these things. And I rated the fact that he could, no matter where you moved him to, he did perform to an extent. But that,
of course,
it's not the cam. It's not cam for me. It's CM. When you're saying CM, that for me is too deep for Rooney. That was always a bit too much for me. Yeah. Now, there was moments where you see even in America where he has that burst, right? And he gets back and he gets the ball back, wins it, slide tackle, sprays it.
And then sprayed it, then pinged it,
Yeah, unbelievable play. Do you know what I mean? And the goals that he was scoring, the bicycle kick.
But that ping that he done.
Big game player, man.
Like, that was an absolute ping. But that's what Rooney had. Rooney always had a ping like that. But also, that was in the MLS, bro.
Yeah,
you know them ones. He's playing against man way below his level, so we could still do that.
And when it comes to CM, I would never have classed him as a CM at any point.
But there you go. Like my man said, a 37-year-old Paul Scholes was clear of Wayne Rooney in midfield. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. So Wayne Rooney could ping. So because Wayne Rooney could ping, everyone was like, oh yeah, Rooney could play in midfield. There's a lot more to playing in midfield than just being able to ping. Most centre-backs in the Prem can ping. Harry Maguire can ping. He can't play CM. You know, like that. So just because you can ping a ball, that don't mean exactly. It's all about the brain. It's all about the reading of the game. It's all about knowing your proximity to people. When you're playing striker for your whole life, and you only have to worry about people coming from behind you, and then you're playing in midfield and you've got to worry about people coming from either side, in front, behind, half turn, receiving it, popping it off, getting it back. That's never been Rooney's game. He's never been a tight and tidy player. Rooney's always been a pace and power, push the ball, bounce off people, and you can't do that in midfield, bro. You need tidy feet. You need
he was at his best as a striker when he was when he broke onto the scene
control,
and he was arguing with refs, and the next minute, you know, he's smashing in the top corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
mad aggression. But that was my favorite Rooney when he was young and he was doing a madness. And to be fair, you know, he's still, even when Van Persie came, do you know what I mean? He set him up for that title winning goal we remember and whatnot. So he always adapted his game to whoever came in, and whether it was Tevez, that's what I give him credit for. Is he was always able to play with another man, whether it be Tevez, whether it be Van Persie, Ronaldo, Berbatov, no matter who it was, he always made sure that he kind of sacrificed himself, you know what I mean, to let the other man shine. So I rate him for that. But I have no problem with the cam, but CM I think that's just too deep for me. I would never have really wanted Rooney to play CM. It's just too deep.
That's what I'm saying, brother. And speaking of midfielders, with mad tech, bro, man, have to talk about the Croydon De Bruyne, blood, because we got DG here, blood. That youth is wavy, blood. I know you're someone who watches like the youth team, and obviously you would have known about man for time. I'm not gonna lie, I never knew about this youth, bruv, until probably like 6 months ago. He's cold, fam. Like, he's cold. You know them ones with certain man, with Saka and that at the beginning, because he got played in so many different positions, I didn't really know what his game was. You know them ones, but this fucking Smith Rowe is feisty, bruv. Like the way he plays football is just rude, blood. Like, he just looks like he's on Hackney Marshes, bruv. Like he don't give a fuck. You know, like that. You know how you be young, like, you know, when man's young like that, man just rolling in with the low socks, the blacked out boots. You know what I'm saying? He just don't give a fuck, bro. He just doesn't care, bro. He's brazy with it, like a bare techie, bro. Like even the volley that he scored the other day, the half volley thing, or was it a full volley? I can't even remember. Was it against Newcastle?
Newcastle, yeah, the winner where he should have been, where he should have wrongly not been sent off and they got rescinded.
Yeah, bruv, this guy's feisty, bro. Like the way he plays football is rude, innit? Like that's the closest thing, that I've seen to like Jack Wilshere in a while. The way, you know, the way Wilshere stepped into a team with men that were all senior to him and he just never looked out of place. Yeah, that's how this youth plays, bro. He just plays like, yo, like I've been playing at this level my whole life. It's frightening, bro. Like if he stays injury free, like he's gonna be a massive player for your club, bro, because he's from here and he's got the right face, blood. You know them ones. Man just fits everything. You know them ones. He just fits, blood. You know the way that Jack Wilshere just fit, blood, and everyone just wanted him to do well. This youth fits everything. You know them ones. It's a mad thing, bro. He just fits, bro. Like, what's the mood like with you lot now? Obviously, you man have been winning games now. The kids are playing. You know what I mean? It's like the vibes are good now, bro.
For me personally, obviously the vibes are good. I'd say personally for Arsenal fans, we love to jump to conclusions. You know, you either call a negative nanny or you're happy Larry. You know, you either get too excited or too down. For myself, of course, that, you know, I'm not here stressing like Matisse. I'm not here losing, dropping points. There's a bit, it's, you know, it's nobody wants their teams to lose. But for me, I'm still keeping balance. I kind of haven't forgot, because I look at it, what is 5 games? Take nothing away from the Chelsea result. It was fantastic. But like I said earlier, you know, Brighton, I'm not, you know, we won back-to-back away from home. That's fantastic. But Brighton, West Bromwich Albion, and I can't even remember who we played after. Well, drawing against Palace and beating Newcastle. These are teams you kind of have to take points on. You know, I always say to fans, are we saying that this is good? Not because it's not good, but is it good into comparison to what we've done? Or if we had aspirations in the season and we don't hit them, and we look back in May and say where points were dropped, is it necessarily good? For me, I'm more happy with the young players. Experienced players have stepped up, but like Smith Rowe sums it up, him and Saka sum it up. You know, again, for me with Smith Rowe, it's interesting everyone's speaking about personality. I think there's a lot more to come from him. I still think while he's playing amazing and stuff, I still see and I see it with Saka, he's advanced in that regards. I don't think he's deep that, yo, I am a Premier League footballer. He's still like, yeah, I play with these guys on FIFA.
He's with my bridgings and that, yeah.
Yeah, like once he gets that, he's going to be a good player. He needs to stay consistent. I still think we shouldn't put our expectations on him as an Arsenal fan, because like you've seen, when we were missing Tierney against Palace, or Saka and him were having so sort of games, you know, there was no one else to lean on. It's kind of unhealthy, but he's leading by example. If he stays fit, it could all be his, really and truly. He has to stay fit. That's what's kind of shagged him. He even had a shoulder injury at the start of the season. That's the only thing that's going to hold him back. His personality is getting stronger every game, and he just gets it, man. He just gets it. And even stuff with the personality, it's like, I would have liked to have seen him fight his case a bit more when he got sent off wrongly against Newcastle. It's like he accepted it. Once he starts to deep that I shouldn't accept that, he's going to be a better player. And I know there's a lot of talk about Kevin De Bruyne. Like Arteta says, just call him Emil. But I think that should be a guide point. Personally, I think he could play in a pivot long term one day, because that's what the talk is around the club allegedly. I think he should look at to be someone like Grealish. Now he's obviously missing a couple of things, but I want to see you able to play in that 10, able to play in a 4-3-3, able to affect the game off the flanks. For now, let's lock down where you are. But he's doing well, man. There's talk of signing a new deal, rightly so. And with all due respect to Joe Willock, he's the when we're seeing Joe in that 10 role, I couldn't get it. I didn't get why Smith Rowe isn't there, because that should be a 10, much less an Arsenal 10. You know, Joe's more industrial. You have piano players and piano pushers. Joe Willock is firmly a piano pusher, with respect to him. So yeah, man, he's leading the way. No, I don't even hate on Joe, but it's like, I didn't get it. I get it when you're playing a 10 and you're doing this pressing thing and you're playing City. But when we're talking about prestige, half turn, in the pockets, Smith Rowe is your guy. Like you see, buzzing on the left, buzzing on the right. Matisse will know, because you saw firsthand what he's on. He's a good player in that regards, man. I had to get him, man. Come on. But yeah, Smith Rowe, man.
But do you know what as well? What's great to see is that you, man, for so long, like you said, we're kind of neglecting that 10 position. I felt like you had the pivot with Partey, especially now that he's back fit. You have a better pivot than you've had in a long time to play a 10 there. Obviously, I still feel like you need someone else to partner Partey. I don't think El Neni and Xhaka are levels long term, but with Partey signed, you're way closer than you've ever been. So for me, it's just nice to see Arsenal. Like, the season hasn't been what you wanted, but at least put the time and the effort into the youth players, because that at least gives you a future. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're going with these Williams and players like that, it don't make no sense to me, because that's not taking care of the future or the now. So to go with the Sakas now and the Smith Rowes, it just makes sense, because seasons, I wouldn't say the season's done out here, but do you know what I mean? You're not expecting to finish top 4. And for me, I've always said, potentially if Arsenal don't get top 4 or Europa, it makes them stronger the season after, from a playing perspective, with the fact that you don't have to play any Thursday nights.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, my guy. Because
you don't know. Financially, maybe not.
Financially, maybe will have a knock-on effect. But I think Arsenal fans, why we like Smith, Curry got a rest, man. Like, why we are more happy with the Sakas and the Smith Rowes is because more than anything, as a football fan, we all care about hope. You know, you want to wait. Nobody wants to go to work or do whatever Monday to Friday, weekend comes, and there's no belief in the team. I think the young players have that. They're playing for, you know, whether, for me personally, obviously I want man to play for the manager, play for the club, play for the fans. I get that. But at some level, I want you to play for yourselves. So even if I look at it on a cynical thing and I say Smith Rowe doesn't give a crap about Arsenal Football Club, at least I'm seeing a man that's stepping onto that field and saying, it's in my best interest to play well today so I can get my plaudits. He's probably played his way into England under 21 contention now. Ironically, Willian might miss out. So it's stuff like that. When I look at man like Willian, like you mentioned him, he's, you know, I'm at the point now, Willian's dead, but I feel sorry for him because I'm seeing a worse Willian than I ever imagined. He looks shot on confidence. He looks a yard slower. You know, we're finally starting to play him consistently in that sort of 10 when he's come off the bench, and he just sucks in all aspects, sort of thing. And it's the scary thing is like we've got bondage with him. It's like at least Lampard would kind of take Willian out the side, but it's like he's Arteta's guy. Edu suggested him allegedly based on a thing that came out in the Athletic. So it's like Willian, I hope he plays well. He's going to cost people game time. You know, how much game time has he already cost young players by not performing? You know, again, we don't know if he would have got to that point, but Smith Rowe and all these other guys that are getting look-ins or in and around the team, what could they have done with the minutes? And when you've got Willian, when you've got Pepe doing the foolishness Pepe is doing, it's a dangerous two elephants in the room, essentially.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why my man saying the Haaland lads are playing for the badge.
Right.
And that's what it is, bro. Like the Smith Rowe, I don't know, bro. The man's moving like Tommy Egan, blood. You know what I mean? And I think he's a 10, bro. I don't think he's when I say De Bruyne, I don't see him in a double pivot for me, bro, because
I think he played a long time.
But I think he's got too much tenacity and also he carries the ball so well, bro.
That's why I love him.
The way he dribbles with the ball, like he dribbles, like he carries that ball like he's on a power league thing, bro. That's what like he playing like he's playing with his brethrens at 8 o'clock at Power League, fam. You know what I'm saying? And he's like one of them youths that went Power League and never wore shin pads, blood. Like he just there. You know them? I was like, nah, he's a cold youth, fam. You know what I mean? So like to see him in that advanced role makes me think, why the hell Willock was playing there ever, bro? Like it don't make no sense because Willock ain't got nothing about him. Smith Rowe had something about him where he's like, bruv, I'm not losing today, innit? And I think him and Saka are linking up. Like I think he's assisted like the last three of Saka's goals or something.
Yeah, they come together. They're like bun and cheese, man. They're like, there's not a better duo. They're doing it well. What I like with Smith Rowe is I always say, and we all know it because we've all played football. The better footballers, they start getting this sixth sense with players, and football is about relationships. Like I don't think Lacazette's the answer long term, but you can see Smith Rowe, Saka, Lacazette. They're all making third man runs. They all know if he gets it, he's gonna look for me. People underestimate that aspect, and Arsenal are not going to improve until A, we can find a consistent 11, and then B, we start getting these relationships. Everybody talks about Liverpool and the money they spent, rightly so. But if Van Dijk and Alisson and collectively there wasn't a system and a togetherness, you know, fullbacks understanding when to move, there wouldn't be an improvement. So I think Arsenal still have a long way to go. For me, I'm just riding this form until the wheels fall off because we've got some tough games. You know what? We got United at the end of the month in no order. We got the Benfica one sandwiched in between Europa League. We've got City, we've got Leicester, we've got Wolves, we've got Villa. So again, I'm looking at it. The players, it's always like I said, when everything's going poorly at Arsenal, we want to shout about it. When everything's going negative and positive, we want to shout about it. There's no balance. Now I'm going to see what you lot are on because now we're starting to win. I'm seeing certain inexperienced players that when we're losing, given no press conferences, they're back now. So when I want to see what you lot are on, I want you lot to forgive yourselves for what's happened previously. Are you looking at your next 5 games now? Forget what you've done this 5 games. Are you looking at the next 5 games and saying, listen, we do this, we do that? Because if you look at the league table, listen, I don't really rate our squad like that. But would you say teams are ahead of us because Arsenal are down there and all these other teams have been amazing? No, everybody's been messing up. Everybody's been dropping points. Everyone's had consistent bouts of form but hasn't been making a meal. And that's what annoys me. It's like we're not in the talk of top 4 and top 6 fundamentally because of ourselves. I don't like to do this if we beat Wolves and if we did this against Villa and that and this, because you can't go back in time. But these are the things you're going to look back in May and think where you lost points. And that's why I can't be too excited, because fundamentally Arsenal will defeat themselves way before we talk about other teams and whatnot. But I'm riding this form till the wheels fall off, essentially.
And that's the same feeling I have with Chelsea, because even last season we made top 4, but the points that we hit were so low and everyone was just dashing it away. No one want top 4, just give it to charity. Everyone just dropped points, then another man dropped points, and no one really took control of that top 4. No one was like, okay, we're gonna go and take it and really dominate the situation and take control of the situation. And I see that with now Chelsea as well. People are talking about what if we put this together, what if we put that together. If buts, maybes, do you know what I mean? It's all lovely, but Chelsea always recently in the last 3-4 seasons, they don't help themselves. They seem to be ready to bottle it themselves. Forget everybody else. when the pressure's on and it's time for you, man, to perform and take control of situation like that, like we saw against Leicester, they don't want it. That's my problem. Is that even these runs to put together a run takes a certain mentality. It's not even just people talk about formations, tactics, and all this stuff. It takes a certain mentality to get yourself out of the trenches, which is what we are in, and put a run together. And I don't see that mentality. I don't even see it from Lampard, because if you see it, I don't see it from Lampard to the players to the coach. I don't see it anywhere across the board. I don't see it, because he looks very dejected on the sidelines, arms folded. I don't see none of the assistant managers moving too much, got too much. It doesn't look like they had a lot to say when we were winning, parring Jose Mourinho on socials, but now I don't see too much. Everyone's gone quiet. I would like to see Jody Morris do a little interview, a little quick thing after the match as well. Maybe you say something. What have you got to say? Do you know what I mean? I'm not seeing too many other players do a post-match apart from Mason Mount.
Always like the young G's. Always the young G's. Like I like
the young ones that want to talk.
Exactly. Xhaka's always there when we're winning. As much as I like, he's not there when we're losing. As I don't even think Xhaka's the worst player in the world. I don't think he's good enough for us. But it's like that. It's like Aubameyang. To be fair, he's spoken about his form. But when we're winning, captains come out. When it's shaky, I'm seeing even poor Joe Willock. Poor Joe Willock is being thrown to the wolves when we're dropping points. Or you might have someone like Tierney who, regardless of the weather, is going to stand up. But this is what football fans don't understand generally. That they don't see these things, and that's what frustrates me. It's like you want to hear these people speak. It's even indirectly like what Rants was saying about Pogba in a different way. Maybe ignorant people that can't put two and two together and critique things for themselves. If they hear a man speak or they hear something, rightly or wrongly, they can then draw their conclusion. Then it's just down to interpretation. But that's what stops us. When you look at how NBA and all those things are, and I don't follow them, but I just look at the athletes, very outspoken, good relationship, and all of these sort of things. There, even the pundits to a degree, they can say one thing, you can say what it is. It's a mixture in this country of just was or just not stating the obvious. Look at Redknapp. He did not want to get onto his boy Lampard the other day on that thing. When there's other people, he'll bring up all the graphs.
He's putting the boot in, mate.
Yeah, Lidge, bare things on the screen. It's a mazza.
It's Hale End and Cobham trying to bail the two clubs out of the situation they're in if we're keeping it real. Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount. I know Reece James has gone a little bit off the boil, but he did. He's
been a good performer.
Yeah. It's Hale and Cobham that are trying to drag these men out of the trenches at this point, and you know what I mean. It's just, for me, like I said, I don't see nobody stand. Like, it's all good when we're winning, but when we're losing, I don't see no man standing up to be counted for. And I don't know what Jody was doing today. Some fuckery on socials, liking certain posts and maybe trying to draw out and trying to get reaction. I don't know. I have to look into it when I get onto Twitter. But come and do your talk. Apparently, he liked some posts where the players are the players are not really putting in the hard graft on the pitch for Lampard. And if I was a player, I would be doing this for my manager.
See, this is all a yatty thing. Tell man that. Tell man that.
No, but you know what it is. He knows that he's out of his depth, and these men are rattled now.
After the game, come out and talk to the media after the game. That's what I would see. Because I've never seen an assistant manager accept so little media responsibilities.
It's true, bro. It's true.
Usually, these assistant managers are patterning up the cut press conferences.
Bro, Ferguson used to send McPhelan to do certain things because he didn't want to do them.
I swear he said to BBC.
BBC said, "I'm not chatting to them. Chat to Mick, fam."
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I saw Zola do some things as well. I ain't seen Jody come out too often in these media moments to come and talk. I was always frank every time after all the cup games, before all the cup games, after every game. Where's Jody from? Where's Jody? And this is what I'm talking about. Not to dig these men out too much, because like I said, I respect them as coaches. But for me, an assistant manager, just some more experience would have been better, man. For me, because you've got an inexperienced manager and then an inexperienced assistant manager at this level. And then on top of that, new signings and a lot of youth. There's just too many people learning, bro.
Do you know what concerns me? It's like when you look at Lampard, it's like really the players that aren't, just by looking at it, generally the players that you don't really like or fuck, they're the ones that saving you really. Like, you don't really want to play Callum for whatever reason. He seems to be showing up. Giroud's goals might have boiled off, but if you compare him to the other two strikers or just the moments of when he's grabbed these goals, Giroud's done his thing. And it's like, I look, when things are going bad, because I was doing it with Arteta, I look if there's a player or there's a unit or there's individual, some sort of thing to say, all right, cool, these players are still playing, or at least he's still got some soldiers in the camp. He hasn't lost everyone. Then I can say it's politics. I'm not going to say he has lost everyone because I don't know that, but I can't look around and say it because, you know, you've dropped, you just, you know, you've messed around with what you've done in defense. He keeps changing his back line. Clearly doesn't believe in them and ain't been well. It's like, who are your soldiers? Like, did you ever
Rudiger's gone, bro. Rudiger's gone from being transfer listed borderline to leave the club in the summer to now starting when you're in a critical position where your job needs saving. I thought you didn't like Rudiger. What's going on?
This is like if Arteta starts playing Pepe consistently again, I'm going to look at it like, okay, cool. Back
it's a panic thing, innit?
Yeah, because you don't really want to bring him. And it is panic because, what was it? Against Palace, Pepe came on. When we've won the game against Newcastle, Williams come on. So that tells you everything. Only when times are tough, man are going to panic and do something they won't normally do. Like anyone in any life situation.
Yeah, survival mode for them, man.
Yeah.
Bitch.
It's mad. In the trenches and you're relying on players for me that you never wanted. It's nuts. It's nuts for me.
That's it. That's it.
Well, but this is what happens when you've got no other choice, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Man are hitting the panic button right now, innit? And you can tell man are in survival mode right now. I feel like Arteta has kind of turned it around. Like, he's got enough man fighting for him at Arsenal. That's why he's still there.
Yeah.
Same with Oli. He's got man really fighting for him. Lampard,
he's done.
He's done, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's only a matter of time. You know
for me, the reason why he's done as well is because of the board. That's why I don't worry too much about objectives.
Yeah, you know that they will pull the gun, bro. Them Russian men don't care. They're pulling triggers, bro. They don't care.
People think the board are on a fuckery. Finances are involved. No gate receipts and Champions League is on the line. On top of that, Lampard is not one of the top well-paid managers in this league, and he's got 1 year left on his contract.
Compensation ain't looking too bad. So that tells you once there's a plan with another manager in place or something.
Yeah, that's a light little change, blood, under the sofa and that. Blood,
this is the time here where this is when you got 1 year left, which is next season's your last year. This is the time you should be stating a case to get a new contract, not getting sacked. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not like people keep thinking the status. The status is all great, but A, the fans are not in the ground to save you, and B, you don't have that kind of power anymore to say, like, he's lost so much he's lost so much of his power in terms of not winning, no evidence also of what you've done previously, but on top of that you've brought in your signers and then none of them are performing, and then you can't go to Roman's office and say, I need this, I need that. What about what I just gave you? And
it's true.
So you're running out of power. That's my problem. He's running out of all of the power tools that he would have had. They're all starting to get dismantled very quickly. You're running out. You're running out of power. So
100.
It's a madness for me. Like I said, I would like it to end sooner rather than later because I'm not one of these people that are here to see this get ugly. And I would rather, like I said, just everybody part ways, nice way, respectfully. Let him go and do his. Let him go down a level where he should be to go manage and get time at a club where he's not going to be under so much pressure. Learn the game, keep implementing your tactics, your philosophy, keep developing it. Actually, do your thing, and then 10 years time, never know what can happen. But for me, to see this all just continue to drop down, it's not for me. It's not for me at all.
100%, bruv. Hey, big up everyone inside. Smash that like button, bruv. Like pretty much 1.9, peaked at 1.9k, 1.9 in here at the moment, bruv. Smash that like button. Let's get us over 1,000 likes. Big up, big fucking show. Do you know what I mean? Real topics. Do you know what I'm saying? Matisse is stressed, but bruv, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is a new day, fam. Who you man got next?
Is it though?
Who you lot got next?
I've got to watch my team play.
Twice,
I've got
Southampton.
Hey,
Shook. I'm shook. I'll be real. I'm shook. I'm scared of Southampton on the worst of days. Like, I'm pretty sure most Arsenal fans will tell you St. Mary's, that's one to scare us. We all remember what Mane's done to us a number of times, but now you've got Southampton that are doing very well. So I'm shook, man. I'm actually shook. I'm shook. That's what I mean. Well, when I say, like, okay, cool, you've done what you've needed to do, but winners don't rely on, okay, what we've done in the past. Now I just want to know if you can come out of this Southampton quick turnaround and get through to the FA Cup, which we're defending, and a big 3 points, because that's a test now. That's a big game. That's like Leicester and Southampton now. That's as good as beating anyone in the traditional top 4-6 for me. As you can see, you know, even when you lot Rants beat Southampton, it was a tough game. You walked away with it. They make you work. Man City the other day. So it's a big test, man. I'm scared. I'm very scared.
100. So now,
And
big
they
up.
said
Make
they
sure
made this
you
pan-
make sure
pan-
you follow up the man them. Make sure you follow up the man them. You already know. Make sure
guy.
you follow Deluded on here. Make sure you follow Matisse on YouTube as well. That man always got content flowing. You lot got anything else to plug for the rest of the day?
No, I did a live stream earlier. I might do Arsenal versus Southampton, better yet, versus Arsenal preview in a couple hours. So yeah, if you're about, look out for that. Nothing else really after that.
Just dropped we just dropped All You Can Eat Chelsea, which is the new weekly show we've got going with Miz and Eunice. New intro dropped for that as well. So yeah, check that out. We just put that out real in depth about Lampard, the logic behind, it seems, the board giving him a couple more games, the logic behind a lot of things. So yeah.
That's what I mean. Big up everyone. Smash the like. I'm back tonight with Aaron and Flawless, and I think Bossman Birds is gonna pass through as well. Blood, talk about United, bro. He's just been in there recording his album and that, so he hasn't really been back on, but he's back on tonight, and he's got some humble pie to eat because he's been getting onto Pogba for a minute. So I told him he needs to come. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You need to come humble today. You know them was because man gonna have to apologize to me for all the fuckery he was talking, blood. You know, like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good show, fam. So yeah, 7 o'clock tonight. The man them are back, blood. The humble pie is gonna be served warm, blood. You know, like that. So it's calm. Big up everyone in the building. Smash that like before you leave. Get us over 1,000 likes.